CM Punk is a trailblazer in the WWE. He redefined the orthodox way of cutting promos in the company by doing things his way. He wasn't the typical wrestler with abs that can cut through wood or muscles that can be flexed off. He was an average guy, but his skills, charisma and overall in-ring performances were one of a kind. CM Punk called himself the best in the world, and to the millions of fans of professional wrestling who watched him every week, he was exactly that. So join us as we tell the amazing story of a kid from Chicago who wanted to do nothing else with his life than wrestle. But make sure you stick to the end, where we uncover the heartwarming moment he won his first WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Let's begin. CM Punk, whose real name is Philip Jack Brooks, was born in Chicago on October the 26th, 1978. He grew up in nearby Lockport, where he attended Lockport Township High School. To understand how CM Punk adopted wrestling as his life's work, you need to know where he comes from. His father drank a lot, which led Punk to become straight edge as a teen. His mom was harsh and strict, and they were never close. His mom also banned wrestling in the house because she thought it would lead to her sons becoming criminals. CM Punk has 5 other siblings, so growing up it was a busy household, but not a very peaceful one. He had a friend, Ches, whose family welcomed him like one of their own. Feeling accepted, wanted and loved was kind of all Punk really wanted. It was Ches's family that made Punk less over the edge and more friendly to people around him. Fast forward to when Punk was 15 years old. He and his older brother Michael started hanging out with a group of kids at a suburban Chicago comic book shop. All of them loved wrestling, and eventually an idea was floated. Let's create our own league. On a warm July night in 1993, they started their little promotion and called it the Lunatic Wrestling Federation, aka LWF. The boys sank 4 landscaping ties into one of their parents' backyards and strung ropes between them to form a makeshift wrestling ring. There were no mats or pads. They threw themselves down onto the lawn they'd mowed earlier that day. The audience was a handful of pals with a logo spray-painted right there on the ground. Brooks adopted the ring name CM Punk, alongside his tag team partner CM Venom. The CM stood for Chick Magnet, and the name of their tag team was the Chick Magnets. It wasn't long before the wooden backyard ring, the over-the-top characters, and the violent shows gained notoriety in the small world of Chicago wrestling. People started showing up. They moved out of the backyard and into rented gymnasiums. They began to make money. But something happened. Punk's brother, Michael Brooks, stole thousands of dollars from the LWF, making their little promotion more or less bankrupt. Even though other members of the LWF eventually forgave Michael, and in time he repaid the money, CM Punk never talked to his brother again. Punk left the LWF and enrolled as a student at the Steel Dominion Wrestling School in Chicago, where he was trained by Ace Steel, Danny Dominion and Kevin Quinn to become a professional wrestler. As part of the training, he began wrestling at Steel Domain Wrestling in St. Paul, Minnesota in 1999. In 2002, Punk became the International Wrestling Cartel Heavyweight Champion in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. His first world championship as a wrestler. He was also good friends with veteran wrestler Colt Cabana. Punk's matches with Colt Cabana led to his signing by Ring of Honor. On November the 9th, 2002, he made his debut at ROH All-Star Extravaganza in a 5-person gauntlet match that Daniel Bryan ultimately won. But CM Punk's major highlight in Ring of Honor came in 2004 when Punk faced off against ROH World Champion Samoa Joe for the championship in a 3-match series. Here's how it went down. On June the 12th, at World Title Classic, the first match resulted in a 60-minute time limit draw when neither Punk nor Joe could pin or cause the other to submit in the 60 minutes. On October the 16th, at Joe vs Punk 2, they wrestled to a second 60-minute draw. In addition to Joe vs Punk 2 becoming Ring of Honor's best-selling DVD at the time, the match received a 5-star rating by famous wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. It was the first match in North America to receive a 5-star rating in 7 years, the last one being the Hell in a Cell match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at Bad Blood in Your House in 1997. Sadly, Samoa Joe won the final encounter of their series to win the championship. While wrestling for Ring of Honor, Punk joined Impact Wrestling, where he was paired with Julio De Niro as members of Raven's TNA alliance called The Gathering. Shortly before a TNA show on February the 25th, 2004, Punk had a physical scuffle with Teddy Hart outside of a restaurant that was broken up by his longtime friend Sabu. The scuffle reportedly stemmed from an ROH show where Hart performed 3 unplanned spots, putting several other wrestlers in danger of an injury. Around the time of the scuffle, Punk and his tag team partner De Niro stopped appearing on TNA shows, leading to speculations that he was fired for the incident. However, that wasn't the case. Punk officially terminated his contract with Impact Wrestling in March 2004 after having a dispute with the promotion over his inability to compete in both Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling, following an order from Impact Wrestling that their contracted wrestlers were to no longer wrestle in ROH. CM Punk's choosing Ring of Honor over Impact Wrestling contributed to him getting inducted into the ROH Hall of Fame in 2022. But the moment he left the Ring of Honor in 2005, his next stop was the WWE. After a tryout in June 2005, CM Punk was extended a contract by the WWE and was assigned to their developmental territory called Ohio Valley Wrestling. It was a huge step for CM Punk, who had always been a fan of the WWE. However, his debut under the OVW could have gone a lot better. On September the 26th, in his OVW television debut, Punk sustained a ruptured eardrum and broken nose after Danny Inferno hit him with an overly stiff right hand. CM Punk showed his high level of professionality in that match because, despite the injury, he still finished the match. From there, he went on to win the OVW Television Championship and the OVW Southern Tag Team Championship at a house show with Seth Skyfire. But after losing both titles in the same month, he made his ECW television debut on the July the 4th, 2006 episode of ECW, cutting a brief pre-tape promo about his straight-edged lifestyle and emphasizing the disciplinary aspects of being drug and alcohol free. Punk established himself in ECW by going undefeated. Soon after, Punk began feuding with Mike Knox after Knox's on-screen girlfriend, Kelly Kelly, was seen to have romantic feelings for Punk. Punk defeated Knox in their first single match on the November the 7th episode of ECW, as well as a rematch the following week, after which Kelly Kelly celebrated Punk's victory over Knox. After suffering his first defeat in 6 months at the hands of Hardcore Holly, he made his first WrestleMania appearance at WrestleMania 23 in a Money in the Bank ladders match, which he ended up losing. After which, he was given the golden opportunity to become the ECW World Champion and eventually the World Heavyweight Champion. But before we talk about that, let's do something for you watching this video. We're doing a shout-out contest for our subscribers, so if you want to get a personal shout-out from us, go comment EPIC in the comment section below and stand a chance to win the contest. It's pretty easy, so go comment EPIC now. a tournament was held to determine the new ECW World Champion, following former champ Bobby Lashley getting drafted to Raw. Johnny Nitro, whose in-ring name is now John Morrison, subsequently defeated Punk for the vacant ECW World Championship at the finals of the tournament. But in the following months, Punk faced Morrison numerous times for the title before finally winning it during an episode of ECW. After successful title defences against Elijah Burke, Big Daddy V, The Miz and John Morrison, he finally lost the ECW Championship to Chavo Guerrero in a no disqualification match after Edge performed a spear on him, ending his reign at 143 days. At that point, this just got better. On March the 30th, 2008, at WrestleMania 24, CM Punk won the Money in the Bank ladder match after defeating Carlito, Chris Jericho, John Morrison, Montel Vontavious Porter, Mr. Kennedy and Shelton Benjamin. After an unsuccessful teaming with Kane for the WWE Tag Team Championship, Punk was drafted to the Raw brand during the 2008 WWE Draft. And in just his first night under the Raw brand, CM Punk did the unthinkable. Edge, who was the heavyweight champion at the time, was getting a massive beatdown from Batista in the ring. Batista, who was out to seek retribution, delivered his signature Batista bomb to Edge inside the ring, and just as Batista left the ringside, CM Punk came down the aisle with a referee to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. Edge was still struggling to regain himself when CM Punk lifted him and delivered a GTS to a semi-conscious Edge. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. CM Punk became the new World Heavyweight Champion! CM Punk did it. Mr. Money in the Bank became Mr. World Champion. Make sure you check out this video showing on your screen right now. Bye!